The Foster's Cup second semi-final, Adelaide versus North Melbourne, live from Waverley. The Foster's Cup second semi-final, Adelaide versus North Melbourne, live from Waverley.
And a very good evening, everyone, wherever you may be watching on 7 Sport. Welcome to Waverley. There are just 3 teams left in the Foster's Cup for 1991. In 2.5 hours' time, we'll know who is going to be playing Hawthorn in the grand final. It is North Melbourne and the Adelaide Crows. Let's have a look at how these two sides have made it to the second semi-final. Adelaide stunned Geelong with a 77-point thrashing and then showed great resistance to come back and defeat St Kilda by 10 points. North Melbourne defeated Sydney by 39 points and, although down by 25 points at half-time, got up to defeat North Melbourne by 10 points. Joining me behind the microphone tonight, a 3-times Premiership Carlton player and a veteran of 122 games, and a man who played 367 games for Fitzroy and the Footscray, kicked over 800 goals, won a Brownlow medal almost a decade ago, Bernie Quinlan. Gentlemen, welcome.
Good evening, Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy.
I think it's going to be it's a great night for football, a good atmosphere here, and my word, haven't the Crows created an extraordinary amount of interest?
Well, it's been tremendous from an Adelaide point of view, and certainly from a national competition point of view. They've played very, very well in their 2 matches, and it'll be a big test for them tonight. Their full back line of Lee, Bartlett and Pays. Pays is a new player, so I'll be interested to see how he goes with Longmire back in the North Melbourne side.
Yes, Wayne Carey and McCarthy make up a very strong North Melbourne half-forward line. Maynard with the job on Carey, a big task.
Centre line, of course, very important here on the big ground. Tregenza, Jarman and Marshall, all very, very good ball getters. Crocker, a tremendous player for North Melbourne last week.
Klug and Mann. Well, Klug's been excellent at centre-half forward for the Crows in his 2 games. Up against Mann, the recruit from Western Australia. Another good match-up there.
And the full forward for Adelaide, Scott Hodges, I'm expecting big things from him this year, up against Darren Harris, the fullback for North Melbourne.
And the followers, Pittman, who was good last week against St Kilda, McGuinness and Hart. Gallagher, the ruckman for North Melbourne, Larkin and Jose Romero, a very good rover.
Bit of a question mark. One wonders who's going to line up in the 18, but we've got Linda Murphy, McIntyre and Lamb on the interchange for Adelaide.
And for North Melbourne, Stevens, Staritsky, Pickering and Brayshaw.
Thank you, gentlemen. Michael Roberts played with 3 VFL clubs, as they were known then, namely St Kilda, Richmond and Fitzroy. Peter McKenna, the former great forward, played with 2, Collingwood for the main and a number of games with Carlton. Those 2 gentlemen are with us on the boundary line tonight. We'll take a break and then be back with all the action. Graham Corns and at the moment Chris McDermott heading up the Adelaide Crows, whilst for North Melbourne Wayne Schimmelbusch coaching them, and the skipper for the season is Matthew Larkin. Time now for the Mitsubishi Motors ground report. Here's Michael Roberts.
Well, thanks Sandy, and after 2 scorching days of 40 degrees, rain finally hit Melbourne, and the players will really appreciate it because that temperature has dropped considerably. On the Mitsubishi weather gauge, the current temperature is 14 degrees, the expected overnight low is 12, the relative humidity 45%, a wind, a slight breeze, heading left of screen to the main scoreboard end, but will have no real significance on the game. The ground a little soft, especially in the middle, and the forecast a brief clearing shower or 2.
Thank you, Michael. In fact, the Crows are kicking to the left. Gavin Dorr and Shane McDonald in charge of proceedings. Pittman in the middle to do the ruck work for the Crows. So here we go. This to decide who will meet Hawthorn in the final of the Foster's Cup. A good bounce to open proceedings. Pittman gets a good run at it and wins the opening toss, but it's North Melbourne who take it away through Stevens. Took it from Alistair Clarkson out wide towards Anthony Rock. Has been in good form early on. Socket off the ground by Tregenza. Back towards the wing. Jarman through. Pokes it out wide. In trouble is Scott Lee. Cry for holding the ball. Goes against the Crows.
And Lee perhaps just not picking the first option there. A little unfortunate maybe to get caught. The ball with Scholl. He's on centre wing on the outer side. Long kick in towards half forward. The ball comes through to the back. Allison. Sweeping hand pass. Gives Ramiro the chance. And the ball just sitting up a little bit in the damp turf and the Adelaide defence. This time it's McGuinness forcing the ball over for a boundary throw-in.
Well done there, Tony McGuinness. Showed the experience of 109 AFL games, running the ball over the boundary line there.
Gallagher doing the ruck work. Opportunity for Allison. A kick across the face of the goal. And there's John Longmire in the picture with his opponent Bartlett. And Longmire, who has been out of the side with a hamstring injury, Bernie, I believe.
That's right. He kicked 9 goals against Essendon in a practice match and slightly strained the hamstring.
North take advantage of it while they've got in that scoring zone. Fielke tries to pick it up, too tough. So he shovels along cleverly and gains valuable metres. Maynard's hand pass goes astray. Romero right over the top. And Jose Romero will have a shot from just 45 metres out, but on quite a tight angle. Plays on, but he's being told he's got to come back, kick over the mark.
Very impressive, Jose Romero. Really puts his body in, gets to the bottom of the pack. And with Rock, they form a fairly formidable roving combination.
I've got the mark lined up there.
Romero will be kicking from just about on 40 metres. Pretty tight angle, good looking kick. Into the square it goes, just drifting across the face. First score of the night are behind.
Brayshaw's lined up at fullback with Longmire out of the side too, Sandy. Big loss. Mickey Martin, of course. Did I say Longmire?
Yeah,
yes, Michael Martin, of course.
Hamstring, disappointing. Longmire gets the hand pass away close to the boundary line on that outer side. And eventually taken over by Tregenza. For those of you who haven't been following the Foster's Cup, you'll be aware that the umpires are mic'd up, so you'll be able to hear their decisions and hopefully their reasons for, if there are inquiries. Stevens rides the bump, gets a short kick, doesn't travel a great deal of distance, however. Pushed wide towards the wing. McDermott is there, tackles Scholl over the line.
Wasn't a bad tackle there by McDermott. The desperate stuff shown by all teams in this Foster's Cup, Sandy, with a great emphasis on effective tackling.
So I think McDermott really does, that typifies his game. He's a real player's player. And a grand player for South Australia for a number of years.
Have you got a comment to make about who might be captain of this team? It's still close between McGuinness and McDermott, do you think?
Yes, it's a real toss of the coin at the moment. Do they decide upon the prodigal son, if you like, who comes back in McGuinness with that valuable experience that he's gained over here, or McDermott, who has been an inspirational player in South Australia for a long, long time. They've got it down into their forward line now. A chance for the Crows to score. Hodges was going past, but couldn't take it cleanly. Chandler in towards the back pocket, gets the hand pass away. North out of trouble through Mann. Sweeps it wide, Staritsky. Back to Mann. Goes underground. Could be effective to Brayshaw. They're out of trouble. Up towards Scholl. He steadies with the right boot. Goes over centre wing. Touched. Play on is the call. You can hear it.
That's a throw.
He didn't call the throw, I'm afraid, Bernie. Lindsay. Wide out in front of McGuinness. Also there, Tregenza. And the boundary line again beats them all.
It's interesting. We can hear the umpire, courtesy of the microphones, and the Adelaide Crows player, Maynard, couldn't hear it at all.
Yep.
Pittman struggling hard with Gallagher. At the back is Marshall. Struggle now with the ball at ground level. Tap out there by Stevens. Ramiro up towards the centre wing position, and Rock takes the mark. He plays on quickly. Kicks it long towards centre half forward. Could be a North Melbourne mark. It's Longmire. Sliding into it on his knees. He's marked just inside 50 metres.
Well, it's great to see this man back in the North Melbourne side. Johnny Longmire, only 20. He kicked 98 goals last year to be the leading AFL goal kicker.
And shouldn't have any problem with the distance. Oh, he's got a little bit too close to the man on the mark. He's got the football again, tries to crash his way through. Allison and Fielke rather, and the free kick is going to Allison. Didn't pick that one.
Well, it's for holding the ball, which the umpires have been red hot on in this pre-season competition. The umpire there, you heard him saying he was over the ball and he didn't get it out.
Now,
let's have a look at it
listening
again.
to ex-umpire Ian Robinson last week, if the player dives on the ball, he's to be penalised.
Yes.
Allison has it about 30 metres out directly in front. Brett Allison, lovely kick. It's a goal.
I still think that's a very tough decision, Ian. Adelaide behind there, 1 goal to North Melbourne, 1-1-7 leading the Crows yet to score, but I still feel that is a very tough decision. The umpires do not allow any time whatsoever. I thought Filkey and his opponent there were just fighting for the ball, and really I think there should have been some time allowed for Filkey to get the ball out.
North lead by 7 points. The Crows go down towards their half-forward line. Only as far as Smith, however. Out wide to Scholl. He started well. Stabs up towards the half-forward line. North quick to go into attack. Pittman couldn't take the mark. The sweeping hand pass to accommodate Romero. Runs into Filkey, who grabs him. Loses the football. Jarman gets it out. The Crows out of trouble. Back towards the centre once again. Tony McGuinness behind Chandler on that occasion. And he goes towards the 50-metre line. Carey the target. Exciting play. No one on the mark, so Carey will shoot from 55 to an open square. Back in there, almost taking the mark was Allison. Couldn't do so, and the kick by Thompson comes out to the half-back flank. Pushed towards the line by Crocker, being pressured by Grant Filkey. Gets it across to Rock, who stabs into the pocket, and Allison unable to take it. It's going to get the free kick for a push in the back.
Oh, I think they're getting their fair share of the umpiring decisions, North Melbourne.
I think the free kick was there, Robbo, actually. Straight into his back there when he realised that he couldn't get there and spoil.
That's it, Brett. Straight back, that's it.
This for his and North Melbourne's second. Just bringing it back into the square. Pittman appeared to lose sight of it. Lindsay takes the hand pass and gets the Crows out of trouble back towards the middle.
Lovely long kick there by Lindsay, and a good mark taken by Tony McGuinness. He'd be fairly used to the pressures of this standard of football. Tony McGuinness, long kick in towards centre half forward. Attempted mark by Lindner, good gather by Tregenza. The kick goes up and under. McDermott, getting back was Lindner, but coolly Smith for North Melbourne kicks it wide towards the wing. The mark is taken by Clarkson. He handballs away to Larkin. Larkin always seems to have plenty of time, but he's well caught by Marshall. No one to help the young Adelaide Crow player there. Now North Melbourne get into it again through Stevens. Stevens left foot kick around the corner, and that mark, well, he didn't quite hold it, but the umpire on the defensive side couldn't quite pick that up, so the mark is taken by Lee. Lee is at half-back. Drop punt kick, centre wing, punched away. Good gather by Tregenza, who's done pretty well in the early minutes. The kick is marked by Smith. He's been as solid as a rock in defence. A long kick, centre half forward. Crows mark. It's Thompson. Play on. Gee, they seem to be just a little bit, well, they're not switched on, the Adelaide Crows. It's centre half forward now, Carey, and the umpire will call for a bounce.
Michael Taylor, you just saw in picture there, who's assisting the Crows this year. Jarman got a touch, couldn't take it away cleanly. Larkin can again. Up towards the forward line, the lead is on. The pass was a good one, and Longmire will have a shot. 45 metres out. There's not a soul in the square. The drop punt in towards the goal, just drifting it across the face. It had already gone through, I feel, for one behind.
Well, they're giving Johnny Longmire plenty of room on that forward line, and a couple of excellent passes. Wayne Schimmelbusch, Johnny Dugdale in the North Melbourne box.
Maynard to the outer side. Crows have had trouble going past their half-forward line. Jarman sweeps it wide out towards the half-back flank. The bottom there is McDermott. That's where you'll often find him.
Good effort by McDermott there, 1 against 2 North Melbourne players, and at least he held it up. The bounce is wide of centre half forward for North Melbourne. McDermott goes up. Larkin tries to crash his way through. Thompson overruns it. North Melbourne go forward into that forward pocket. Bartlett this time in front, but Longmire, look at the bounce of the ball. He could kick a goal, he does. Touched. Well, that was a tremendous effort by Bartlett because he was always out of position, but he fought on against the odds, and eventually John Longmire kicks her behind. Look at Bartlett, always out of the contest, not giving in, and eventually touching the ball off John Longmire's boot.
Yes, he did very well, but that first instance he probably could have been a bit stronger in getting the ball over the boundary line.
So the margin 9 points. Crocker can't get past Jarman, although he bounces off him, then Filkey applies a good tackle. The ball spills free. Gallagher over the top, couldn't get it out. Neither can his opposing ruckman Pittman. Jarman almost threw it out. Tregenza gets a hurried kick. The Crows down past centre wing. Klug. With him is Mann. Mann traps it well. Chandler, a high kick round his body. High, close to the boundary line. In fact, out on the full. So Grant Filkey will send the Crows forward. Down to the half-forward line. A good mark from behind. He started well.
Well, he's playing on Bruce
Smith.
Lindner, Sandy, and he's giving him a bath at this stage.
Smith's kick back towards centre wing. Gallagher and Pittman. Filkey over the line. Gallagher got the tap down towards Romero. Smothered by Jarman, who tried to get it away. Then Lindsay. Well, it's called too high. Bruce Lindsay can't believe it. But the free kick will go the way of North and Alistair Clarkson.
Is that time on? That's it. On the mark.
Clarkson long and low towards the 50-metre line. McCarthy couldn't take it. Lee got the hand pass away to Maynard. At the back, Gallagher, big man, tried to push it forward, but McDermott trapped it out wide to Lindsay. Clarkson with him.
Well done, Clarkson, putting his body in, playing
Gee,
the ball.
there's a few tiggy touch with free kicks going North Melbourne's way.
And there's been a few missed as well, a couple of throws and a few high
Scott
tackles.
Lee's handball back here was a bit questionable.
Kick from Clarkson to the 50-metre line. That will drop short. Or Jarman couldn't take it cleanly. Here's a chance now as German surges forward. Back towards Rock. German follows play down. He can't get through, however. Longmire. Can he get the hand pass away? Goes a little too wide for Stevens. Tregenza blocks it. No one able to get it out cleanly. Eventually thrown wide down towards the scoring zone. Bartlett under tremendous pressure on the last line of defence. Gets it out to Tregenza. He goes wide towards Jarman. And this time he takes the mark on half back.
That's a better mark. Nearly very costly, that one he dropped in the North Melbourne forward line.
Sorry, Bernie, I was going to give some credit there to Tregenza, who's covered quite a lot of territory on that outer wing, and he got back into that back pocket to clear the ball away. And Andrew Jarman now has the ball at half back. Clever player, but he dropped the mark just a few seconds earlier that he should have taken. Marshall gets a lot of the ball. Kick towards centre wing, punched away by Chandler. Opportunity for McDermott, he's caught. 1 against 3. Look at the North Melbourne players getting in there to help their mates out. Clarkson, Rock, Scholl. Scholl's kick towards a half-forward flank. Nearly a mark to Kelly. Chipping in to help out as McGuinness. He gets past Allison. McGuinness's kick high. Back in towards the centre. Marking contest. Opportunity now for Hart. Handball over the top goes to Filkey. Filkey's left foot kick up towards full forward. Crows at the back. Hodges battling hard. In there is Brayshaw. What can Hodges do? Battling on the ground. Gets the ball away to Lindner. Lindner onto the right foot. Short kick in towards the full forward position. Kick by Lamb is just offline. And the Adelaide Crows have taken nearly 15 minutes to score in this first quarter of the Foster's Cup semi-final.
Yes, they're not winning around the middle of the ground. The North Melbourne little players and centre line players doing particularly well, and the Crows forwards have not had many opportunities at all.
Clayton Lamb, incidentally, has had number 6 is tonight wearing 35. Roberts out to Crocker. Down towards the half-forward line once again. Allison's got to try and beat 2. He's got 1. Can't get the other, and close to the boundary line. Thompson and Kelly doing the work there for the Crows. And over.
Fantastic the way this North Melbourne team support each other. A couple of players there all the time ready to back up, support, tackle. If one tackle is not applied, there's always another player there ready to apply the tackle.
Umpire calling for his ball again. Hear the chat going on there. Umpire asking for room to bounce the ball. Gallagher and Pittman at it again. Tregenza could have been held when he didn't have the ball. Socket off the ground. German will be claimed. He's steamrolled. Jarman picks it up nicely and shoots out a lightning hand pass. Scholl towards the boundary line. He's got Staritsky there with him and needs him. Punches it forward 5 metres. Rock almost throws it out. The umpire calls play on. Marshall tackled high. And he will take the free kick. Veteran of some 322 games with the Glenelg Football Club. Kicks wide towards the wing. Scooped out to Lindsay. A look of determination on Bruce Lindsay's face. And a good-looking kick, tried to centre the football. Brayshaw comes steaming out for North Melbourne. And the Roo defence doing it easily at the moment as Rock takes it wide to Staritsky. Can't take it, but he's got time to recover. Oh, has he? Look at McDermott on all fours. Played McDermott. Staritsky grabs him, and eventually the Crows bring it back through the big man in Pittman.
Gee, McDermott was a bit stiff not to get a free kick, I thought. Rock gets the hand pass in towards German. German approaching the centre, kicks it towards centre half forward. Punched away by Maynard. The ball at the back. Filkey gives the handball to Kelly, who was under pressure. Kelly goes back. Ramiro chips in. Goal coming up for North Melbourne. Carey over the top. Little too far for Larkin, but he's talented. Composed gets the handball back. Crocker shoots for goal. Darren Crocker, and puts it through. Brilliant football there by North Melbourne, resulting in their second goal. They're 2-3. Adelaide are 1 behind.
Well, the Crows there, they just cannot afford to give a handball when the North Melbourne players were all around like that, and it came from Filkey. It was a very dicey handball, put his teammate under pressure, and really he just had a chance. He could have sucked the boot into it and got the Crows out of trouble.
Michael Murphy on for Bruce Lindner.
As he was very quiet early, wasn't he, Bruce Lindner? Ross Smith really gave him a hiding.
14 points the margin. McDermott's high kick out past Tregenza. Chasing his Scholl. Gets him, but he does get boot to ball and gains valuable meterage down towards the 50-metre line. Chandler sees it over the line. And I'm sure that the Tregenza household will be hoping for a big day from a big night from Simon. Happy birthday. Klug up against Mann. Romero overruns it. Hart lost it. Romero tackled, but he's still in there battling up against 3 of them. And a little bit of aggression just sneaking in there.
Well, it's only a matter of time, Sandy, before there's been a dust-up, because they've been so aggressive at the ball, both sides. Numbers at the ball and a couple of high tackles. The free kick's going to McDermott. I think there was a high one on the North Melbourne player earlier. Romero went to ground holding his head.
He's the hardest worker in the Adelaide side so far tonight, Chris McDermott. He had a quiet game last Saturday night, and he looks as though he's determined to make up for that and give some more as well.
McDermott in towards half forward. Hodges out. Couldn't take it. Klug gets the hand pass away. McGuinness on again to Marshall. David Marshall flicks it round his body. Up with the one hand. There's going to be a free kick here. Going to Hodges.
Well, it's a silly free kick by Mark Roberts too, because Hodges had no chance of taking that mark. There's the free kick. Mark Roberts high in the back of Hodges' head. So no doubt that was a free kick, but really he had no need to do it.
So Hodges looking for the Crows first. From just inside 50. Drop punt, swinging away to the left. 1 behind.
His kicking hasn't been all that impressive in the 3 matches we've seen, Sandy, even though he kicked 150 goals last year. Hodges not too happy about that tackle there from Mark Roberts.
And Mark Roberts letting him know that he's certainly going to be in for a tough night. Lovely kick in there by Smith, goes to half back. Crocker can't control it. Darryl Hart there for the Adelaide Crows. We'll have a boundary throw in. It's about 75 metres away from the Crows' goal. They've kicked 2 behinds. North Melbourne have kicked 2-3. They've got 4 minutes left in this first quarter. At the back, Klug. Tregenza. Good pressure by Scholl. Hart still has the football. It's close to the boundary line. Scholl worries him out of it. Opportunity there for Stevens. Handball over the top. Ramiro. Crocker. North Melbourne players striving hard to clear it out of the defensive area. Goes back in towards the centre wing. Clarkson gathers the ball nicely. Kicks it towards centre half forward. Lindsay. Oh, no talking. He's put his teammate down, Bruce Lindsay. He only had eyes for the ball, so that's good play from his behalf there. But certainly no talking could have resulted in a bad injury. Jarman, handball over the top to Hart. Crows are into attack. Hart's kick is direct towards goal. Hodges, not paid. Ball at the front. Tapped away by Smith, who's killing them back there. A little too easy. Roberts and Mann combined, and Mann's short kick will be marked by German.
German plays on quickly to Carey. Up to the half-forward line. Lee was the other player who collided with Lindsay, but both players appear to be okay. Longmire needs to get it away to Larkin. He'll swing the left foot round and kick another one to the roots. So North kick clear. They are 3-3, 21. Adelaide 2 behinds.
Once again, poor defence there by the Crows, because Lee, we see him in replay, he's tapped the ball in towards the centre of the ground instead of going for the boundary line, and it's really left the door open for the North Melbourne forwards, ending up with Larkin. But gee, it must be safety first in defence, and the boundary was the better option.
Great play by John Longmire there. Good vision. Handball was accurate, and Larkin making no mistake. 3-3 to 2 behinds. Crows struggling in the early part of the semi-final. McDermott dives on it. Be careful, you could be penalised. Tap towards half forward. Kick off the ground by Carey. North Melbourne back into attack. Up towards full forward. Longmire again. Helping out is Larkin. Left foot kick by Larkin is marked by Kelly for Adelaide between full-back and centre half-back. Kick goes wide towards the wing. McGuinness is out there. He's got a few metres to spare. Now he's going to be forced to kick for the right foot. He gathers good ground. Up towards the centre wing position. Left behind by Filkey. Scholl forces it forward. Great play by Craig Scholl. He's an improver for North Melbourne. Up towards half forward where Allison has been playing brilliantly. The tap in. Pittman gathers the bouncing ball nicely and gets it away to Lindsay. Lindsay's kick up towards half forward. One out back there is Lamb. He's beaten for it by Roberts. Roberts, a kick across his body. Back in towards the centre. Nearly the mark to Pittman. It's been paid. He got his hands to it. And the North Melbourne player, free kick, Bernie, was it?
Free kick over the shoulder.
And Pittman for Adelaide to put them back into attack.
Pittman having a bit of room while Gallagher left the ground, and Harris came on as his replacement. Clarkson gets it away. Only as far as Lee. McDermott high towards Marshall. He's got to wait for the ball to bounce. McDermott again, look at him. Almost threw it out the back door to Marshall, but the umpire says play on. Down towards the Crows' 50-metre line. They'd love a goal. Chandler is claimed. Is he going to be pinged? Filkey asked the question. Yes.
A good tackle, Grant Filkey. Very little he could do there, Chandler. Almost a perfect tackle.
Just over 1 minute remaining, Bernie, and he's gone short, or attempted to Hart. From the 30 metres out. Hart shot for goal. Looks pretty good, and that's what they wanted.
What sort of a kick was that, Sandy?
Well, he's got plenty of ability on the forward line, Hart, if he's got a bit of space to work in. He kicked 6 goals against Geelong in their opening match of the Foster's Cup competition. There he is, and a very clever check side punt.
We've got to say it, Robert.
Check side punt, is that right?
No, it was well done, but certainly they effect that kick accurately on most occasions.
An infringement in the square, Ian, and it's going the way of the Crows. Filkey has it. If they can get another one before the siren, they'll be back in business. Pressure now on the Roo defence, but the whistle. There's a North player down flat on his stomach behind play. We'll keep an eye on him. He's getting up now. Romero surrounded, but he gets a sweeping hand pass down towards the half-forward line. Pushed wide. Jarman off to Marshall. Crows out of trouble. And almost out of time. 10 seconds remaining. Marshall's kick to the 50-metre line once again. And a good mark taken on this occasion by Murphy. Used off the bench. Goes short, and there's the siren. Blue gets his kick away, but the siren had sounded. So the scores at quarter time in the second semi-final of the Foster's Cup see North Melbourne 3-3, 21, leading the Adelaide Crows 1-2-8. Points the margin at quarter time, favouring the Kangaroos. What did the coaches have to say during the break? Here's Michael Roberts.
Well, Wayne Schimmelbusch was very happy with that quarter with 3 goals, and he said that just through sheer persistence, holding the ball in the forward line, that's what he wants. The little fella's got a tongue lashing last week. He really praised the little fellas this week, and also they're playing in front both in defence and in attack.
Well, Graham Corns gave them a lesson in marking to get the fingers outstretched and hang on to the ball. They have dropped a lot of marks. He told them to show initiative, to get in after the ball and take their chances and just race down the ground and back each other up.
Thank you, Pete. Yes, they've certainly had their possessions, but their ball handling, unlike the last couple of weeks, has let them down. That was when we saw Brayshaw go to ground, but he's up and appears to be okay. Set to go in the second quarter. 13 points the margin. This time North Melbourne kicking to the left. Straight to Jarman, however. He gets the first kick through the arms of Staritsky. Marshall still shows pace. Mann tries to tap forward, does so cleverly. North defence worked extremely tightly in the first quarter. Marshall leading in the race for the ball. On his hammer is Chandler. Does well, but McGuinness nips in, twists out of trouble and goes with the left foot high but too wide, out of bounds on the foot. Brayshaw, quite okay after that knock. Kicks towards the half back line. Harris up with one hand trying to swipe it wide. Larkin, will he be pinged? A little too high. He was claimed going down. So Matthew Larkin kicking north towards centre wing. Marshall and Clarkson. Maynard comes in to assist. Marshall back again to Jarman. Swings it high. Harris stood his ground at the bottom. Chandler waits. Over they go once again. McDermott will be at the bottom of that pack. And another bounce.
Just forward of centre wing in Adelaide's forward half. Opportunity now for German. Kick is smothered. Pittman underneath it. Now German again. Kick across his body up towards half forward. Lindsay and Clarkson. Youth versus experience. Clarkson wins out the younger. Ramiro. Handball further to Carey. Carey's long kick towards goal. It's a magnificent shot. And the mark taken in the goal square by Brett Allison.
They played well last week against Melbourne on that very hot day last Sunday. 30 degrees it was. Allison kicked 3 goals. He's used his body well. A little nudge out enabled him to take that mark.
And the angle that is confronting Brett Allison. Left foot kick. Kicks it across the face and through for one behind. Would have been handy if Brett Allison was a right footer. There's the interchange bench for North Melbourne. Wayne Schwass on this end. Michael Gallagher, of course, the taller man. And the kick in to be done here by Lee. Lee goes to half back on this members' side. Pittman can't mark. Taken by McDermott. Fins it off beautifully. The kick by... intercepted there. Thompson was the Adelaide player. And it's forced over by the North Melbourne defence for a boundary throw-in.
Tremendous smother there by Staritsky, keeping the ball in the North Melbourne forward line.
From the throw-in, McGuinness trying to get clear. Gets the hand pass away to McDermott. Hurriedly gets his kick towards the wing. Larkin stands his ground, takes it on the chest. Matthew Larkin, high, putting the Roos inside 50. Carey couldn't get a decent run at the ball. Sock it down towards the pocket once again. Allison is there. Goes back inside. Oh, Staritsky under pressure. 1, 2, bang, down he goes.
Great defence there by the Crows. They really put the pressure on. There's 4 of the Crows players applying the tackle, and Justin Staritsky just retaining possession a bit too long.
Matthew Kelly doing the hard work there for the Crows. McGuinness taking it from Filkey, wide to Tregenza. Sprints through the wing, up towards the 50-metre line. Bends the kick back. He was looking for Klug. It was well directed. Here's a chance. Hodges on to Klug. Can he get clear? Tries to go back to Hodges. Has got to give a little ground. Can't pick it up. Neither can Marshall. What can Jarman do? He almost throws it out to Lamb. Umpire calls play on. Crocker. Smothered off his boot. Filkey to McGuinness. Both of these sides are known for their persistence. He finds Klug.
Sandy, I just wonder whether the rain that's fallen in Melbourne earlier today, which has made the ground a little softer, and maybe the ball is a little slippery, maybe that's an explanation for the ball handling. That passage of play by the Adelaide Crows was certainly left a little bit to be desired.
Klug from 48 metres. It's a little underneath it, but he'll just about make it. Shepherded through. Yes. John Klug kicks his and the Crows' first goal, second goal.
Yes, but Klug's been very quiet at centre-half forward. That's his first kick for the night, in fact. 1 mark, 1 kick, 1 handball. But good work there by Hodges in the goal square, just keeping Brayshaw out of the contest. Brayshaw really was on the wrong side of that contest. Just enabled Hodges to hold him out.
And as you mentioned, Sandy, John Klug, he's been a terrific player in the first 2 wins that the Crows have had against Geelong and St Kilda. Over the top goes Stevens. Attempted dive was by Lamb. Good tackle, Maynard. Larkin underneath it. Rock there. Back goes McGuinness, but Rock held when he didn't have it. And Anthony Rock will take the free kick. Tony McGuinness there. The boys just having a little bit of a to-do. Rock's kick wide to half forward on that outer side. In front was Lee. Marshall, good tackle on Crocker. Ball in a winnable position, and Longmire does it beautifully. Handball towards Ramiro. It goes over for a boundary throw-in. Jose Ramiro, who played a great game for North Melbourne last week against Melbourne. A little quiet in the first half, but finished it off beautifully, as did most of the North Melbourne players. So fitness is not a worry for North Melbourne. There's a free kick in the ruck contest. Goes to Pittman. Filkey, nice balk. And another one. And he'll run through centre half back and kick it in towards the centre. Marking contest. Chandler determined. Maynard a little late. Chandler strong. High kick into the forward line. Punched away. The Crows not talking again. Jarman back there. Will get the handball away to Filkey. Filkey's left foot kick. Under pressure towards the wing. Marshall tries to get the handball away, but he doesn't hit his target. Stevens to Larkin. Larkin goes to Scholl. High kick in towards centre half forward, and a mark to Tregenza in front of Clarkson. Let him go, Alistair, you'll get 50 metres. Tregenza now looking to play on. Kicks it wide towards this members wing position. Klug in there is Murphy. Handball over the top. Intercepted beautifully by Mann. He gets the handball away. It's a little too fierce, but Smith strong in defence for North Melbourne. The left foot kick towards centre half forward. No mark to Longmire, but his recovery is brilliant. Around under the right foot, Longmire's kick. In towards full forward. Back there Lee. High flyer Ramiro. In comes Allison. He swings onto the right. Now he gives the hand pass away. It's in the goal square. Oh, brilliant football by McGuinness. Magnificent play. Leadership qualities by Tony McGuinness to force it through for a rush behind the North Melbourne.
Cool, Robbo. It was very good there. Tony McGuinness getting back in defence and forcing that behind.
Well, there's the other player that could take the captaincy, McDermott. Both playing inspired football at the moment. Marshall working hard. Filkey perhaps looking for the free kick, didn't get it. On the wing with Rock. Stabs it in towards 50 metres. And Romero will have a shot from just inside 50. And Shimmer feeling the pressure in the second quarter. The former Roo champion, now coach.
Look at that pass, Sandy. Magnificent there from Rock hitting his fellow rover on the chest. Romero kicking without his right boot. He's a right footer, so this could cause him some worry from about 50 metres out.
Again underneath it, puts it into the square. Over the back it comes. And the Crows should get out of trouble. Back towards that half back line. Kelly's kick goes. Carey spoons it back for Harris. Does well for a big man to pick it up and pump it forward once again. Down in towards full forward. No mark taken. Romero gives it out. Staritsky onto Rock. Rock's kick partly smothered. Now the Crows showing desperation in defence. Hart gets a hurried kick towards the half back line. Marshall caught behind Crocker, but he persists. They have persisted a little too much. Crocker. Between centre and half forward. To the 50-metre line he goes. Ball dropped a little short. Stevens in there for North Melbourne. Romero still with the one boot. And Pittman. The big man's working pretty hard, Bernie.
He was very impressive last week also against St Kilda, Sandy.
Tries to get into the ruck contest, but Rock eventually takes it. Can't do much with it. McDermott dives on it once again. Handball goes to the opposition. Rock's left foot kick towards full forward. Bartlett's got to get back quickly. He does. Handballs it further back. Lee away to Thompson. Thompson close to the boundary line. His feet were right on it, but he gets the kick away back towards centre wing. Or that could have been a free kick against Tregenza, and it'll go to Clarkson, forward of centre wing, favouring North Melbourne. Looking for the short pass into the pocket. Getting back nicely was Maynard, and he marks. Play on, says the umpire. Thompson under pressure, but strong. He breaks the tackle. A quick kick back in towards the centre. Harris, Lindsay. Oh, in comes Murphy. Whack the strong stuff. Now the ball comes away from Lindsay to Tregenza. Tregenza on centre wing. Runs up the half forward. Kicks it high in towards centre half forward. Marking contest. Good play by Mann, Brayshaw, and eventually Chandler. North Melbourne get clear. A long kick out towards centre wing. Marshall behind. Crocker in front. Larkin overruns it. Crocker tries to tap it to his teammate. Jarman chips in and flips it to McGuinness. McGuinness's kick into the full forward area, punched away by Brayshaw. He's an old-fashioned defender, not very skillful, but by geez, he effective. Brayshaw for North Melbourne.
He's taking over full-back tonight with Mickey Martin out of the side with that hamstring injury.
Just 9 points in it. Lug high in the air. Larkin, always a hard worker for North Melbourne. Goes a little too wide on this occasion. So the Crows have a chance to go deep into attack.
30. Go behind your mark.
Grant Filkey to take it. He's going to go short to Hart.
That's it, Peter. Stay there, mate. That's marked.
Distance and test him from here too. So what can he find? Hodges is his target, and that was a good mark. That was a good mark.
Yeah, strong mark, Sandy, but Brayshaw giving Hodges a lot of latitude there. About 5 to 10 metres, getting in late, and probably Hodges a little bit of height advantage on Brayshaw as well.
Hodges for his first goal. Drifting it across, and his kicking has let him down.
That's right, he kicked about 2-5 against Geelong. Grant Filkey having a spell on the bench. He's been replaced by Stephen Rowe for his first run of the night.
Roberts kicks in. Mark is taken by German. He gets around Hodges a little too easily. The German's kicked back towards the centre wing position. Mark is taken by Staritsky. Staritsky, recruited from Western Australia, South Australia, Norwood, in fact. Now Carey, Pittman tries to kick it to his own advantage. Gallagher, a lovely little intelligent kick off the ground. Clarkson kicks it to the front of the goals, and Longmire takes the mark. Less than 40 metres out, directly in front. Tempted then to give it off.
Yes, he could have got that off to
Stevens.
Yeah, Stevens made good position.
Well, what would you do? I mean, you're a full forward. You do back your kicking ability, wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely get it off. The opportunity was there. I think he had to give that one off, but it was a great
the goal.
It was a great kick for goal.
I know, but at least 815 times he didn't give it off.
Well, the only reason I asked that question was that he's 40 metres out directly in front. If he kicks it to the other guy, you increase the angle, right?
Yes, that's
he's
true.
He's directly in front when he marks this ball, and he's only 40 metres out.
That's true, Sandy, but I think we saw Dunstall the other night, and he certainly was prepared to give it off at every opportunity.
So North Melbourne increased their margin to 14 points. Crows having plenty of the ball, but could only manage it behind. North Melbourne take it down there, and Longmire converts a goal. They'll go into attack once again. Alistair Clarkson.
He's playing well, Sandy.
From right in the middle. The lead is on. The ball drops short, but Carey is there. Longmire came steaming out. Has to drop back now. The kick in towards the pocket, going short again. Ooh, Romero to ground. Hart couldn't take the football. North may get another chance through McCarthy. Pulls it round his body. In towards full forward, and through for one behind.
See, there was a terrific little tap off the ground there by Brett Allison to John McCarthy.
Yes, Ritchie's off the ground, and McCarthy's replaced him.
15 points, the margin. Kelly to centre wing. Socket off the ground, picked up by Murphy. Michael Murphy.
Oh, he was a bit lucky.
High. Was he lucky?
Oh, he certainly was.
Well, he has it in the middle. Kicks it high towards the 50-metre line for the Crows. That's a better mark. John Klug called to play on, and he's in trouble. Tregenza gets a boot to it.
I've just been unsure in the attack on a number of occasions, Sandy. They've had their chances, but really in this competition you just have to be so sure and certain with your handballing and your kicking. Klug just did not have enough pace there to get around his man, and really shouldn't have played on.
The throw in. Larkin. He's got Chandler going past, but elects to take the kick. Up towards Carey. Again, one hand to it, but he did well to twist out of trouble and give it to Clarkson. Larkin's on the end here. This could be trouble. He's got Rock. What can Rock do? Can he get round? Yes, he can. Stabs in towards the 50-metre line. And North moving that ball like lightning. We'll see Stevens now having a shot inside 50.
North making a few changes. Also Wayne Schwass on the ground and Peter Germanoff. They're just starting to find a few gaps in the defence of the Crows, moving the ball very quickly, North Melbourne.
Longmire does so on that occasion. Romero off to Larkin, still inside 50. Clarkson will pump it forward. Long kick. And he's goal. He has goal. So the Roos kick away. 5-6 to the Crows. 2-3.
Yes, and Clarkson causing the Crows a lot of worries in the centre of the ground, playing on Jarman. He's already had 14 possessions, Clarkson. Running all over the ground, in defence, in attack. And a very good kick for goal from about 45 metres out.
He's a tough little character too.
Certainly is.
So North Melbourne 5-6 leading Adelaide 2-3. 6 minutes left in the second term. McIntyre on the ground, gets it to McGuinness. McGuinness's kick towards half forward. Bouncing ball a little awkward there for Lamb. Kick off the ground, goes up inside 50 metres. Brayshaw, tackled by Hodges. Still Brayshaw in front. Chases the ball out wide. Now Chandler comes in to help out. Chandler's kick long towards the wing, but the mark is taken by McIntyre. He gives the handball away. It's still not accurate enough for Graham Corns, I wouldn't think. Marshall around onto the right foot. Kick up towards half foot. Ooh, Scholes brought the ground. Play on. Advantage rule is paid. Good umpiring. And Larkin takes North Melbourne through the centre. Left foot kick. Look at the use of the ball by Matthew Larkin. Magnificent. Rock marks at half forward. Lead from Allison into the pocket. But Anthony Rock, who was quoted in the press as having received inspiration from one Jay Buckley, ex-Carlton champion. Anthony Rock, lovely long kick. Geez, got some distance. No accuracy though. And it's out of bounds on the full. So the free kick to be taken for the Crows in the back pocket by Maynard.
Just on 5 minutes remaining, Maynard's kick going to the defensive 50-metre line. Ball spills free, almost thrown out the back. Taken by Rowe. Kicks back towards the centre wing area. The Crows desperately want something. Blue gives it to McGuinness. He gets it away again. If they can start something here, a couple of quick goals will bring them right back into it. Marshall towards Hart. Got a hand to it, but that was all. Roberts off to Mann. And again, the North defence holding strong. Kicks into the middle. Clarkson takes the mark. Sweeps it wide for Crocker. Maynard giving chase, but Crocker gets his kick. Down towards Longmire. With him is Bartlett, and Crocker sees it over the line.
The Crows can't do much around their half-forward line. They've got the ball up there on a number of occasions, and North Melbourne really get it out far too easily.
They're not working hard enough.
That's probably it, Robbo.
Unbelievable. The forwards really have to work hard to make the defenders get the ball out. At half forward now for North Melbourne, and you can see the difference. Look at Carey getting a pat on the head there from Clarkson, because the North Melbourne forwards have made it extremely difficult for the Adelaide players to deliver the ball with any accuracy to their teammates up the field. Ramiro, left foot kick by that player to the front of the square. At the back was Allison. Over the top, Lindsay. Allison's got it again. Left foot snap. Allison doesn't bend it back just quite enough, and it's through for a behind. So an interesting placement there this year for Brett Allison, playing in a permanent forward pocket position. And that's Bartlett, Alan Bartlett, bringing it back in to this member's side. Lee at the back, but a good mark taken by McIntyre against Gallagher. He plays on. The kick is a bit of an up and under towards centre wing. 1-on-1. Nearly a mark there to Murphy. He goes after it again. Good desperate stuff. Jarman tries to get the handball out towards Lamb, but North Melbourne will repel it once again. Ramiro's there at the bottom of the packs, and he kicks it in towards centre half forward. Oh, who was that? Kelly all over the place. Oh. Carey will kick a goal. No, he won't. Bartlett in front, which is where the defender should be, and he kicks it wide. It'll bounce out after getting just inside the line, so we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes being made by the Crows. There's Lee off the ground, having a spell on the bench. I think he's been replaced by Andrew Pays. Brent Filkey coming back on also too, Sandy.
Just over 3 minutes, Bernie, in this first half remaining. Crows needing to score a couple of goals if they're going to really make this tight for North Melbourne. Aerial ping pong at the moment. Lindsay eventually gets a kick, gains probably 35 metres until it wobbles over the line on centre wing.
Well, they really need a goal in the closing minutes of this second quarter to give them something to work on at half-time.
15 plays 37. Kangaroos hoping to make it to the final. Hawthorn will be their opponents. McGuinness to Klug. Now, they could have an opportunity here, the Crows.
Go behind you, Mark.
I have to move it quickly though, Sandy.
Got Hodges down there on his own. And he lets fly with a talk towards Hodges. Got his hands to it. Brayshaw there with him. Defending stoutly, gets it away to Chandler. Hart pressures him over the line. And we'll see a throw in for the Crows in their left forward pocket.
Klug didn't really make it easy for Hodges going for that torpedo. He should have really placed a drop punt and given Hodges some sort of chance to fly for a mark.
Mann palms with the right hand down towards Crocker. Oh, shoveled straight to the line by Scholl. It's a question that was asked. It was asked.
It was, but by gee, it was well done by Scholl. I suppose if you're not penalised, it's well done. If you're penalised, it's poorly done, isn't it?
The runner won't be out. Brayshaw in front again. Kick coming in from Hart. But the North defence has been most impressive tonight. Schwass started on the interchange bench. Wayne Schwass towards centre wing. Rock is over the top. Clarkson helps him out. Goes in towards the centre. And McCarthy takes the mark. Play on call now. McCarthy whips it up towards the 50-metre line. Larkin uses the body. Pitsitsi could be in business. It does. He swings it round. Shooting high towards goal, and he goes! Great goal to North Melbourne.
Been a good quarter by North Melbourne. 6-7, plays 2-3. And they're certainly moving the ball precisely. Very quickly into the forward line. McCarthy taking the mark. Moving the ball quickly. Matthew Larkin very wide open forward line. Just getting away there from Matthew Kelly. And a very clever kick around his body, just bringing it back nicely.
Matthew Larkin, second goal. He's had 15 possessions, so he's been a solid contributor. Hart kicks it to no one in particular. On the end of it, Murphy can't take the mark. McGuinness battling hard onto that favoured left foot. Short pass into the pocket. Hodges, play on. Touched off McGuinness's boot.
Has to be a
now
free
he
kick.
may get a free kick.
Yeah, it has to be a free kick to Hodges. Brayshaw rode him into the ground.
Did he have an option, Bernie, Brayshaw?
No option, but it doesn't matter. Sandy, the umpire, had no option either. He had to pay a free kick.
Right.
So Hodges from deep in that left forward pocket hooks the kick. It's close to the line. Murphy, good play. Good solid mark in the goal square by Michael Murphy, number 22 for the Adelaide Crows. And he should not miss from here. He doesn't.
Yes, great mark there by Murphy. Just used his body well against Ross Smith. But the North Melbourne defenders not getting back and helping there much, because the ruckman, centre half back Mann, had a chance. But strong play by Murphy to take that mark. And he only had a shot from about 8 metres out. And Michael Murphy, former North Melbourne player, played 3 games with North Melbourne, kicking his first goal.
Yes, another of the Crows players who's come over, had a go and gone back. Only 25 seconds remaining. But if the Crows could get another one now, it'd certainly help their cause in the second half. Gallagher tries to tap down. No one able to get it out. Gallagher in over the top again. Schwass couldn't take it. Good smother. Here's a chance for Filkey. Runs to the 50-metre line. Hodges is at the back. Can't take the mark, but he'll get the free kick. almost gave it to Klug. The siren has sounded, and this is just what the Crows want.
There's a couple of quick goals here in time on has put the Crows back in this match. They've been struggling, but this will be a handy goal for the Crows right on the siren.
Well, he's being told to go around a little. He's still looking for his first goal.
He really should kick this, Sandy, if he's a full forward of any prominence.
Certainly should. 15 metres out. He has. So a very handy goal for the Crows on the siren, which sees at half-time North Melbourne leading in this second semi-final, 6-7-43, but the Crows have closed the gap, 4-3-27. Can't hear you, mate. That'll do. Is this thing meant to be closed? Yes, it is. Can I hear Scotty, please?
Yeah, I'm here, Sandy.
Scotty, how are you, mate?
Good, mate.
Go and get my rundown. I haven't got my rundown. I bought the wrong thing. What do we got, mate?
I'm just getting a picture.
Go and get mine, mate, please.
What
do we got, Scotty?
We've got a picture of Dennis.
I can't hear Scotty.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I've lost everything in the earpiece. Jesus.
Can you hear me, Sandy?
Scotty.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What do you got, mate?
We've got a picture of Dennis Banks.
Righto.
Falling off the motorbike.
Oh, yeah, yep.
He's going to be up before the match committee.
Righto.
They didn't know anything about it. We've got some sensational photos.
Yep.
He went for a big wheelie, toppled over. And they didn't know anything about it. They're going to drag him up. Lee Matthews is in a fury over it.
Right, next.
Shane Hurd made his comeback with Essendon today.
Yep.
And broke down in the third quarter.
Oh, really?
Doesn't look like continuing.
Yep.
Melbourne won the game. St Kilda demolished the Brisbane Bears at Carrara today. Danny Craven was the best man on the ground.
Yep.
Michael Tuck made his comeback in intra-club match at Hawthorn. Achilles tendon okay, will play a reserves match and then come back in the seniors.
Yep.
Brad Edwards, former West Australian Fitzroy, dropped off the list of Bears today.
Brad Edwards.
Along with Mifka and Geelong player Peter White.
Oh, yeah.
Essendon's Andrew Underwood will be the most sought-after player in the draft. 6 clubs want to pick him.
Yeah.
But Tony Antrobus could be the surprise. He could be picked up by St Kilda. And the last one, Wayne Johnson's in town to launch his book, and there's some movie people tracking around with him. They want to make a picture of it.
Oh, you're joking.
And they're thinking of, and Wayne Johnson's urging him to put a Tom Cruise in his place.
Oh, dear. Yep.
That's it? Yeah.
Yep. Both sides kicked 3 goals in that second quarter at half-time. North Melbourne 6-7-43 lead the Crows 4-3-27. The winner, of course, going into the grand final. North Melbourne or the Crows to take on Hawthorn. That will be at Waverley next Saturday night. Don't forget, check your local guides for times. And as far as the betting is concerned, well, look at the Tabaret odds at Hawthorn. 5-1 on the Hawks. At 11-4 is North Melbourne, and the Crows 7-1. But of course, if they are successful, that will shorten somewhat dramatically. Let's find out what's making news in the world of football. Searching the traps is Scotty Palmer. Good evening, Scotty.
Good morning or good evening, Sandy. How are you?
I'm very well. Tell me. I'm well, but what about Banksy? Dennis Banks of Collingwood in a spot of bother.
Well, this is one of the photos that have got Collingwood officials in a fury, Sandy. It's of Dennis Banks, the premiership player, and he's sprawling in the dust at Olympic Park. Collingwood people didn't know about it, and now they're in a sort of a bind over it. They're going to ask Dennis to appear before the match committee. He's already carrying a bruised rib. and they want to know what he was doing on a bike. The reporters asked Lee Matthews at Waverley today, why would a premiership player be riding a bike at the motocross? And he said, that's what I want to find out.
Bad news for Collingwood. What about the news out at Windy Hill as far as Shane Hurd's comeback was concerned?
Well, 33-year-old Shane Hurd made his comeback today, a surprise comeback against Melbourne at Frankston, and he broke down in the third quarter. We spoke to him afterwards and he said this looks like the end. And Essendon now don't think they'll pick up the veteran in the draft.
Scotty, just before we talk about the draft, because time's slipping by, St Kilda hammered the Bears today. The Bears knocked a few players off their list.
Yes, Brad Edwards, who came across from West Australia, then went to Fitzroy, was one of 3 players dropped by the Bears. The other were Paul Mifka and Peter White from Geelong. It was bad luck for those boys, Robbie Wall said.
Well, who, Scotty, are going to be the key players in this draft? Who are the ones that clubs want?
The most sought-after player is Andrew Underwood, the Essendon player. 6 clubs would like to get him in the draft next week. But there's a surprise too that Tony Antropos, who wanted so badly to go back to Adelaide, could be picked up by St Kilda.
Scotty?
Yep.
Keep punching.
Keep punching, mate.
Scott Palmer. We'll take a break. Back with more at Waverley shortly.
G'day, I'm Darren Pritchard from the Hawthorn Football Club. Stay tuned to Channel 7 for all your footy action.
Brucey.
Hey, well done, Steve.
Oh, Brucey.
You're on.
Yeah. Oh, Brucey. I can't hear Bruce.
Sandy, Brucey.
Brucey.
Sandy? Yeah, do you want me to hold it, Sandy, for the time?
Oh, no, just give me a couple of lines,
okay.
mate.
Racing, Bart Cummings, 8 new markets. We're going to have David Hayes in to talk about Better Loosen Up. Cricket, the One Day and the Sheffield Shield,
Yep.
Stacky. We're going to talk to Al Unser Jr., who's one of the all-time great, he's old man. And,
Yep.
He's over for the Gold Coast. The Northern Territory Grand Final. We've got stories on triathlon, water skiing, boxing, heaps. See how you go. How long have we got?
I'll just, mate, I didn't quite hear all that. So I've got Newmarket, Better Loosen Up, Cricket, Al Unser. If we've still got more time, you just take it from there.
No worries, mate. You can't remember that.
What's the margin, please?
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Half-time and North Melbourne lead by 16 points down in their rooms. Michael Roberts.
Well, thanks, Sandy. And walking up the race, the players were very disappointed they let the Crows in for those 2 late goals. And Shimmer was a bit disappointed as well because they've had a lot of the ball down in their forward line but haven't been able to convert. He was wrapped with their presser. He said it at quarter time and at half time. The tackling's been tremendous. And he's swapping the little men on and off the ground and on the ground, changing them around in different positions to get the best out of them. An injury down here. Matty Larkin, the skipper, has a bit of a proppy right leg but should be okay.
Yes, well, let's, for North fans, hope he is because he's been inspirational in the first half. Well, I'm sure keeping one eye on this, besides preparing for Sports World, is Bruce McAvaney. Bruce, a big show once again tomorrow, and heading the way as far as racing is concerned, the Newmarket today.
Sure is, Sandy. What a performance by Bart Cummings. His 8th Newmarket handicap win. That equals his Melbourne Cup record of 8. We've got that race and an interview with Bart. And also David Hayes is coming in tomorrow to preview the Australian Cup. His super horse Better Loosen Up is the favourite for Monday's race.
And as far as cricket's concerned, the one day getting underway shortly, and of course Sheffield Shield and Victoria now in with a big chance if the weather does the right thing.
Yeah, they've been helped too by the weather in Tasmania, Sandy. Keith Stackpole will come in and talk to us about Sheffield Shield, and of course that second one-day match, Australia 1 up in the best of 5 series. And
as far as car racing is concerned, a very special guest.
Yes, Al Unser Jr., one of the legends from the United States. We'll be talking to him on the Gold Coast, the big Indianapolis race starting next Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that. Got a big story on triathlon, the Nike Series continuing, a story on Jeff Carrington as we look at the Moomba Water Skiing Masters, also stories on boxing, golf, tennis, you name it. We've got it tomorrow on Sports World. Got my fingers crossed for the Crows tonight, Sandy. They're not doing a bad job, but I'll take it back to you and I'll see you in the morning.
Oh, you're a very subtle man. Thank you, Bruce. We'll take a break. Be back shortly. Both sides back out on the ground for the second half to get underway shortly. If you're a trivia buff or you just like to keep up to the minute with what is happening in the world of Australian football, then this is for you. The 1991 yearbook. It is a gem for just $6.95. You can find every piece of information available at news agencies and bookshops now. Plenty of top sport continuing to come your way on 7. The Moomba Masters water skiing. Check your guides for this Sunday and Monday tomorrow, and the Monday. That's for Victorian viewers only. And then, of course, the touring cars. Jim Richardson said, catch me if you can. Well, they've gone to Simmons Plains in Tasmania. And for all you petrol heads, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. The Australian Touring Car Championship Round 2. And once again, check your local guides for times. Well, we did go to the North Melbourne rooms, but as you're aware, we have not gone to the Adelaide rooms. We respect the wishes of Coach Graham Corns, who has asked specifically, for this year only, that the cameras do not go in at half-time. We respect those wishes. Well, we're just about set to go for the second half, Bernie. Just before we do, those two valuable goals is enough to bring them back.
Yes, well, the same as last week against St Kilda. They just kept battling and battling away. They never really looked like it, but they're not that far away at the moment. The Crows, if they can get their act together in the second half and get some forward moves, some positive forward moves, there's still a chance of winning this match.
So here we go, second half. Both of these sides trailed at half-time in their quarter-final matches, and both came back strongly. Gallagher wins the first touch. Maynard, the first kick. Doesn't travel a great distance, however, and North very quick to take advantage of it, down towards the half-forward line once again. In fact, it's on the 50-metre line, almost thrown out there towards Robbie Thompson. And some holding on going on, said the umpire. So it'll be a free kick going the way of that player. Back towards centre wing. His kick, Gallagher. Well, thought about the hand pass. Now the big man will go back and take his kick. Carey couldn't quite take the ball. Lindsay receives the hand pass. Pushes out wide. Tregenza will do the shepherding work here. Leaves it for his teammate in row.
Throwing the ball. That was a great tackle there by McIntyre, the player who's replaced Pittman, and gee, that was a throw, Sandy.
Now, this guy impressed last week against St Kilda as well when he came off the bench.
Still virtually on the outer wing here. Schwass pushes it forward. Jarman just tries to dribble it along the ground. He's trying to push it forward to Andrew Pays. Runs out of room.
Sandy, in the two games that the Crows have played, I'm sure that Graham Corns would admit that their target hitting was much better than what's happened in the first half so far. They just have, the handballing and their short passing have been terrible so far.
They've had their share of the ball, haven't they?
They certainly have. There's no drama about that. They've got the footy. I just wonder whether lethargy creeps in when teams have to travel, even though it's only an hour or 50 minutes from Adelaide, but they've had to do it now for 3 times in 2 weeks. Opportunity for Filkey, trying to look for a free kick. North Melbourne going on with the business. Larkin, lovely hand pass, hit the target beautifully. Allison, Clarkson, up and under. Suicidal stuff here, and going back strongly was Carey. Great play, but he couldn't quite take the mark. Really battling hard back there was Pays, and he punches the ball over for a boundary throw-in.
Again, we saw the Crows with possession of the ball in the centre of the ground. Jarman gave a terrible handball that put his teammate Tregenza under a lot of pressure, and North Melbourne are able to get the ball down to their forward line very quickly again. McIntyre
tries to get the tap down. Maynard there. Now Larkin, and the umpire forced to ball it up. I think the first 10 minutes of this third term are going to be quite crucial if the Adelaide Crows are to win the game. North Melbourne can kick 2 goals and get an advantage of 3 or 4. It'll be a big battle then. It's been a low-scoring match, and a 4-goal advantage coming into the last quarter would certainly be a big ask from the Crows. Again, we see both sides there striving for possession. Neither prepared to give any ground whatsoever, and we'll have another boundary throw-in.
Wilkie in the thick of things there. Maynard takes it off to Jarman. Now McGuinness. They're giving ground and going very, very wide. Schwass and Tregenza. A couple of quicks here, but the ball eludes both. So a throw-in on the outer side. South Australian Sheffield Shield team is here tonight, watching their charges. McIntyre down looking for Jarman. McDermott there also had a boom first quarter. McDermott a little quieter in the second.
Ooh, the crowd out there asking whether Jarman should have been penalised for standing on Stevens' head then.
Stevens gets the free kick. unable to control it cleanly was Liam Pickering, on for a run. Started tonight on the bench. And so another throw in. Gallagher coming in from the side, over the head of Filkey. Chandler onto the left foot.
I got him, Macca!
Wide and high. Gallagher tries to spoon away. McGuinness to ground. McDermott gets the hand pass away. Now a chance for Tregenza to send the Crows up towards the half-forward line. If they can get the first goal in this third quarter, they're in business. Murphy loses it, however, and again North are able to bring it away. Back towards their 50-metre line. Carey throws it wide. Here's an opportunity for a score. Pull round the body. Was it touched on the line? Well, the North boys down there aren't happy. Pickering pulled it round his body. Longmire is there and is remonstrating, or was remonstrating, with the umpire. Pickering a little disappointed. It's a behind.
Bartlett kicks it into this member's side. Leading out here was McIntyre, but good play by Crocker. And he takes it over for a boundary throw in right half forward for North Melbourne. They've been into attack in the early part of this third term, and that was nearly a great goal by Liam Pickering. They get the tap out. McGuinness is there for the Crows. So is Rock. Marshall. Again, the hand pass is too inaccurate. Maynard doing the tackling. Now Larkin. Clarkson's caught, but Larkin gets it back. McIntyre a good chase. Lindsay a chance to take the mark. Well, I thought he did say touch play on, the umpire, but now he's calling that the man was held. Lindsay now, a good kick by that player, and the mark is taken by Marshall. Looking to play on. The kick up towards the 50-metre line. Hodges taps it out the back, but Roberts, fairly solid back there. The hand pass is okay to Brayshaw. He picks it up on a half volley nicely. Away to McCarthy. Could be nearly caught by Rowe, but no. The kick away by McCarthy goes back in towards the centre. A one-on-one. Thompson and Allison. Thompson grabs Allison. Allison didn't have it. Umpire in a good position to see all that. And Allison will take the free kick just forward of the centre. Brett Allison, who's kicked 1 goal, 2. Short pass is effective. Mark taken by Stevens. Regulation stuff. Off to Schwass. Back to Stevens. Stevens into the pocket. Up over the top there was Bartlett punching the ball away from Longmire. And we'll have a boundary thrown in the left forward pocket for North Melbourne, about 30 metres around from their goal.
Much too indirect there, Robbo. Messing around with the ball, handball backwards and forwards, and then a kick into that pocket. Really not much advantage there for North Melbourne.
17 points the margin at the moment. Gallagher wins it again, pays towards the line.
A lot of young faces in the North Melbourne side, Sandy. A lot of these guys have come up through the under-19s, which have been successfully coached by Dennis Pagan for a long, long time.
Well, they're young, but already they've got 1 or 2 years senior experience behind them. Thompson going back towards the wing, looking for Murphy. Filkey in front of him. He's done pretty well tonight, Grantley Filkey. Goes short, finds Hart, who's been pretty quiet.
Got a lift.
To the half-forward line, Johnny Clue.
That should be 50.
Well, it doesn't matter now. He's clear. Goes up towards Hodges and marks in front of the eyes, 35 metres out.
Back there where I said it had to be 50, he was going to play on if the North Melbourne man didn't hang on to him.
Yeah.
And really, he could have run into an open goal.
Hodges kicked one on the siren in the second term. Let's see if he can... well, that's a shot. Out of bounds on the full burner.
Well, he's kicking without much confidence at all, Sandy, from around the 40-45 metre mark. For a player who's kicked 150 goals in a season, that's unforgivable to have a kick like that. He's just not making the most of his opportunities. He's had the ball on a number of occasions and he just cannot convert.
Roberts brings it back into play. McIntyre trying to do the punching work from behind. Ball to ground. And the umpire says, I'll have it. So a bounce. Steve Rowe picking himself up. Murphy, but it's Rock who takes it away with a high kick for North Melbourne. Fielkey sets himself. Play on call. Jarman through, but without it. Crocker has it. Gets it away nicely. Up towards the centre of the ground. Lindsay charges at it. Gets a bad bounce with Carey. And the Crows should get it down to Jarman now on the wing. His kick goes towards the 50-metre line. no mark taken. Could have almost been a free kick on that occasion to the Crows. Larkin's got to beat 3. Coming over the top with a fist was Thompson. Pushes it down 10 metres. Scholl ripped off the ball. The advantage is paid to North Melbourne. Rock picks it up. Kicks up towards the half-forward line. Maynard does well against Carey, although Carey recovers. Both the 18s on the ground now. Pays gets the hand pass away, and they're out of trouble. It came from Thompson. Pays his kick. Lands with Crocker. Darren Crocker now. Very tight at the moment. Both sides finding it difficult to score, and that ball bounces inside the line, then drifts over.
The Crows forward line is actually very open at the moment. Neil Curley and Graham Corns looking a little concerned. But if they can get the ball down there quickly, there's a lot of space to work in for the Adelaide forwards.
Boundary throw in front Carey. Lindsay a tackle on Larkin. Ball comes out the back. Kick off the ground, goes close to the line. And the players just allow it to bowl over. There's Wayne Schimmelbusch. And I would think he'd be reasonably satisfied with his players at this stage. Their endeavour has been enormous. But low-scoring game, so both defences playing reasonably well. The ball at half-forward. Opportunity for Pays. Free kick will go to North Melbourne to be taken back there by Pickering. Adelaide player being told by the umpire that the infringement was for holding as both players ran for the ball. So Liam Pickering, too far out to score, goes for the torpedo punt kick, drops in short, mark taken by Jarman. He's got no one to kick it to, Jarman.
Sorry, Robbo, just no percentage in that kick. 3 Adelaide defenders there, and too far out Pickering.
Adelaide could do something here. The hand pass by Rowe went further forward, but Smith chips in. Left foot kick by Smith. Too high there for Storitsky. In the pocket, Jarman up over the top. Great anticipation, and he flips it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Shades of his brother against
he's going crook at his teammates for not moving down field. No one to kick to when he had the ball a few minutes ago.
Here's the throw-in again. McIntyre and Gallagher. Jarman again in the thick of things, can't get it out. Neither can Hart, but he pushes it along in front of him. Pressure put on him by Gallagher. That was good work by the big man. There's a tackle too high on Hart by Larkin. Darryl Hart. Only as far as Crocker, however. He can play on here. Runs 10 metres. The drop punt is high. Oh, Longmire's got the sit at the back. Spills the mark. Thrown out the back. The Crow defence working overtime, but they get it back towards centre half back. Rock waiting down in front, shoots out the lightning handball. Gallagher gets it on towards Romero. Jose will have a snap, but it's wide and one behind. So 4-3 plays 6-9.
Not a great exhibition of skills tonight, Sandy. Both sides making a lot of mistakes under pressure.
This has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Kick in, goes straight down the ground. Centre half back, the mark is taken by Gallagher. Gets the hand pass away to Chandler. Chandler's pass is beautiful. Good lead by Longmire. Anticipated the possessions in the middle of the field. And the pass was brilliant, hitting John Longmire on the chest. Longmire has kicked one. Usually a pretty good kick. And this is perfect. John Longmire has now kicked 2 goals, and after some struggling football in the early part of the third term, North Melbourne get the first goal of the third quarter.
Well, that's a great kick for goal from John Longmire. He made the angle fairly tough for himself. Well, look at that kick for goal. That's the difference between him and Hodges at the moment. Hodges has had the same amount of opportunities, but cannot convert.
Two goals to John Longmire. Gallagher has to stand his ground. Play on is called. Tregenza takes it for the Crows, and he pumps it up to the half-forward line once again. The ball spills free. Romero rides the bump. He goes to ground, but he's up again. Marshall did well. It eludes him. Storitsky's under pressure. Is he going to be pinged? No chance at all, you can hear the umpire say. So Justin Storitsky and David Marshall disentangle themselves. Wide kick towards the wing. Marshall. Lindsay is there. So too is Thompson. Crocker over the line.
He tried to hold you back, Matty.
Well, the Adelaide Crows are certainly finding out what it's all about, Sandy, because North Melbourne have given them no space whatsoever for creativity at all during the evening.
Darren Crocker almost loses his head. He'll take it on centre wing.
Behind your mark, Darren. Behind your mark, Crocs. That's the one,
Not
mate.
pretty football, but it's certainly effective.
He centres it. Looking for Carey. The Crows have the numbers. Lindsay. Long and high towards the 50-metre line. Punched clear. Brayshaw punches it again. Down in front of McCarthy. Gets away from Tregenza. Sweeps the hand pass on for Schwartz. Put him under pressure, but he does well, giving it to Stevens. Just a little tap across. Stevens' kick is high. Difficult one to grab. Jarman waits down. He's like lightning with a handball. Gives it to Pays. A high kick up towards half forward. Kluge.
He was off too, Sandy.
He was. And Mark Roberts has a wry grin on his face as John Kluge will go back. Too far out to score, one fears. But he lets fly. It's a long kick in towards the square. A good-looking kick. Ball spills free. And it's Smith who gets it away to Larkin. Past Filkey. Up towards the half-back flank area. Romero takes it in front of Marshall.
Coming on your mark, Jose. That's
Romero at half-back on the members' side. Drop punt kick towards centre wing. In front there was Maynard. Crocker picks up the crumbs. Left foot kick by Crocker back towards centre half forward. The Crows getting back. McIntyre. Good play by McIntyre. Gets it away to Thompson. Thompson's kick from a standing position. Held as Smith. He's still being held behind play, but North Melbourne go forward through Crocker, and his pass is marked by Rock. Rock is at half forward. Kicks it to the front of the goals, which is disciplined play. Goals are much easier to score from there. Oh, great play by Stevens, dispossessing Jarman, and he really let himself down in the finish. The kick slewing off the side of his boot over on the full. The free kick for the Crows in the back pocket to be taken by Pays.
Who kicks to half back. Gallagher just dropped the eyes at the last minute. Failed to complete the mark. Crocker's kick partly smothered. Push towards the line. Some holding on going on there. Peter McIntyre may take the free kick. Wobbles it to the wing. Punch down. Storitsky. Quickly off to Smith. Oh, fine grab.
That's a strong mark, Sandy. He's been good, Allison.
He has played very well. Only kicked the one goal tonight, and that was very early on for North Melbourne. But that was a fine one grab mark, and that's another one. Well, this is going to make it tough. Peter Mann is going to be shooting from just 25 metres out. And a good mark, Bernie.
Yes, he's been moved to the forward line, Sandy, and McCarthy playing now on the back line.
There's the shot by Mann as he puts it through.
There it is again. Allison not too sure what to do with the ball. It eventually went long into the goal square, and Mann, who's been moved up onto that forward line, played the first half at centre half back, taking a very strong mark, but really where were the Adelaide defenders there? Allowed to take that mark far too easily. No defensive work at all from the Crows.
5 goals the difference. A disappointed Scott Hodges shakes his head. He has been taken from the ground and replaced by Bruce Lidner.
5 goals the difference in North Melbourne's favour. 6 minutes left in this third quarter. Filkey tries to barge his way through. Taken by McIntyre. Left foot kick towards centre half forward. Carey. Hand passes away to Scholl. Scholl a short pass. Storitsky. Look at that. Brilliant control. Runs to half forward. Again kicks to the front of the goals, but it's broken down. The mark is taken by Maynard. McIntyre caught. Gets the handball away to Lindsay. In turn to McGuinness. He threads his way through. 2 or 3 of opposition players and kicks it wide to Tregenza. Handball. Well, I don't know whether that was any advantage. It finishes eventually with McDermott. He goes long, direct towards goal. And Lindner nearly marks. Not paid. Chandler takes it over. And we'll have a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows. And that could nearly have been paid.
Yes, nearly. I don't think he had control of it though, Robbo. Bruce Lindner's been brought back onto the ground because Hodges has been taken off. He could not kick goals at full forward. Lindner now playing in that position.
Another change for the Crows. Lee is off and Pittman is on. Free kick to North Melbourne in the back pocket to be taken back there by Roberts. And he looks as though he'll be a handy acquisition for North Melbourne, having come down from the Brisbane Bears over the summer. Strong play by Chandler. What a desperate player he is. Anyone that gets a kick on that player really earns it. And he takes it over for another throw-in.
Just looking at North Melbourne changes, it looks like McCarthy now playing centre-half forward, Carey centre-half back, and Longmire and Mann as dual full forwards.
Critical 5 minutes now as McDermott has at the bottom. The advantage goes his way. The free kick to McGuinness and over the line with Brayshaw.
Sandy, I just want to make a comment there. Every time North Melbourne have had the football on their forward line, they've hooked the kick to centre-half forward and full forward. McGuinness there, I can't be too critical because he's really trying hard, but it was a poor kick from that position.
Klug doing the ruck work. Roberts gets a short kick. Larkin farms it out. Rock will be at the bottom with McGuinness. McDermott pushed off the ball, so too Jarman, but he gets it away to Klug. Back again, they're mucking around with it, but it's the pressure put on by the North defence. Brayshaw on the last line. A high kick towards half-back and a defensive fist away, and well done by Gallagher. The big man has done well.
He's been a handy player for North Melbourne since crossing from Carlton, where he showed a lot of promise, but he had a bad knee injury which put him out for nearly a season, and he's recovered pretty well.
30 points the margin at the moment. Matthew Larkins towards Allison. He did a little bit of leaning. Marshall outpaced on this occasion, and the ball just bouncing inside the line, socked forward by Anthony Stevens. So this crowd of 9,882 here tonight seeing a dour struggle. Who will it be to play Hawthorn next week in the grand final?
Now Pittman doing the ruck work against Harris. He gets it down to Lindsay, who feeds it off to Filkey. But Filkey under pressure. They've always been under pressure, the Crows. North Melbourne's disciplined performance so far has been good. Pittman, Maynard combining. Jarman's kick back in towards the centre. It nearly goes through for Tregenza. Carey. Klug tries to get the handball back to Marshall. Now they really should do something here because they outnumber the opposition in the centre of the ground. The kick towards full forward, over the back. What can Rowe do? Struggling there with Scholl, and Scholl pins him up against the boundary line. Eventually, Roberts gets there. Tregenza good tackle. Scholl is under pressure. Schwass gets the ball away, but not before he puts 1 foot over the boundary line. There's a dust-up between Craig Scholl and Stephen Rowe. Umpire very quickly onto the scene, but we'll have a boundary throw in just inside 50 metres. Right forward pocket for Adelaide. Klug doing the ruck work with Carey. Carey playing back at centre-half back. Gets the tap out in the direction of Schwass. Rowe there for the Crows. Forced over for another boundary throw-in.
Yeah, Schimmelbusch not afraid to make changes. And Carey didn't have a great night at centre-half forward.
Hang on to him, North Melbourne. Say to him, clear back.
Going against Johnny Klug. Taken by Carey. Pumps it back towards the wing. Crocker racing for it. And followed it down nicely. Gets away from Filkey. Gets the hand pass away. Stevens shrugs the tackle and twists beautifully out of trouble. Danger here for the Crows as he kicks it up towards Longmire. Can't take the mark. Larkins with strength. Beautiful hand pass goal. Brett Allison kicks his second. And North steam away.
Yes, and that's the advantage of long and direct football there. Stevens, brilliant play out on that wing, didn't mess around, went straight in front of goals. And Matthew Larkin roving from Johnny Longmire. Got the handball over to Allison. And great to see some direct football for a change.
Adelaide yet to add to their half-time score. North Melbourne have kicked 3 goals too. So it's been all North in this third term. McDermott's driving hard. Harris taken away by Pittman. Gives it to Jarman. All players hemmed in. McDermott's kick is marked by Hart. Hasn't done enough. Darryl Hart, 8 kicks and 1 hand pass. 1 goal. This pass is okay, and McGuinness marks in front of Storitsky. Now Tony McGuinness is 40 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle, so he really should kick this. A desperately needed goal for Adelaide. They trail by 6 goals at the moment. McGuinness. Drop punt kick is perfect. It's straight through the centre. So Tony McGuinness gets his first goal. Adelaide get their 5th, but they still trail by 30 points.
Well, he's been a real try tonight, Tony McGuinness. Not a prolific goal kicker. He only kicked 19 goals last season for Footscray. But the Crows starting to get a few things happening out of the centre, and that's where it's very vital. That centre square clearance, and they're starting to do that in this quarter on a number of occasions.
Back in the centre, there's Darren Harris doing the ruck work. He's up against Pittman. He gets the tap out, goes to centre half forward. Larkin still able to get the hand pass away, even though tackled. Stevens kick into the forward line. Longmire well out in front, and he marks about 35 metres out on a slight angle.
That's what we were saying then too, Robbo. That centre square clearance. North Melbourne on that occasion able to get it down quickly into that forward line.
So Longmire, drop punt kick. Looks pretty good from here. It's another goal to North. Longmire's third. And whatever Adelaide throw at North, North seem to have the answers.
Well, Schimmelbusch in this quarter has put 2 players in the goal square. Mann and Longmire, both leading players. McCarthy playing centre half forward, so they have plenty of players on that forward line who are capable of kicking goals.
47 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Hart gives it away quickly to Jarman. They desperately want one. They may get the opportunity. Back to Clue from 60 metres. He'll try and go short. Effective though, because Lindner was out in front of Brayshaw. And Bruce Lindner will have a shot directly in front. Spent time on the bench tonight. Replaced Scott Hodges. And the chance for his first goal. Directly in front, he's pulled it slightly to the left. Well, the South Australian forwards, full forwards in particular, have been off target.
Well, that's an understatement. Some of the kicks have been shocking. Even that one, Bruce Lindner really didn't have to kick it a long way.
No. Roberts to bring it back in. Only seconds remaining. Probably be the last kick of the quarter. Gets good distance. There's the siren. So the Crows have the job ahead of them if they're going to meet Hawthorn in the grand final. At 3/4 time, North Melbourne, a fine quarter, 10-9, 69. Lead Adelaide, 5-4, 34. Three-quarter time here at Waverley. North Melbourne 10-9-69, Adelaide 5-4-34. So the Crows are going to make it. They're going to have to score more in one quarter than they have in the first three. Just a reminder of the sport coming your way on 7. Speaking of pre-season, the Kmart Classic. That's the basketball pre-season comp, and that gets underway on the 15th through until the 17th. So for all the basketball news, check your local guides for times. To the news from the coaches once again, Michael Roberts and Peter McKenna.
Well, a lot of encouragement down in the North camp by both players and the coach. He said it was a struggle, but he praised them for the hard things that they're doing, all the tackling and chasing. He said, for goodness sake, go direct, give John Longmire a chance down there, and no relaxing. A grand final berth is at stake.
Well, Graham Corns, he said there are no easy kicks out there. They've got to work a lot harder. They've got to put their bodies in. A couple of quick goals and they're right back in this game.
Thank you, Pete. And Michael down on the boundary line. 35 points the margin. They might want a couple more than a couple.
They've only kicked 5 in 3 quarters, and they've got to kick more than 5 to win the game. So,
and they've got their troubles up forward too.
Can they do it? Here we go, the final quarter. And this will decide who meets Hawthorn in the final of the Foster's Cup for 1991. Gallagher wins it out of the middle. Stevens finishes it up with it. Goes with the left foot down towards the left half forward flank. There is courage. McCarthy plays on. Wanted to give it to Wayne Schwass. Maynard tucks it up on the bottom. Out to McCarthy once again. Off to Larkins. Uses it quickly to Rock. Could have been tackled too high. In fact, the umpire said, yes, you were.
played well, Sandy.
Yeah, he has. Anthony Rock goes close to the man on the mark. The lead is there, however, but a good spoil sees it over the boundary line. Man unable to hold it in.
Yeah, it was touched anyway, as we heard the umpire call, Sandy, so man could have been a little bit lucky there. He was saved, I think.
Throw in the left forward pocket. Jarman waiting at the back, but so too is Larkins, and he bangs it in for another one. It's his third. And the skipper's done well.
Yes, he's played a great game, Matty Larkin. 13 kicks and 11 handballs. And 3 goals. These softer conditions suit him a little bit more too. He's not over-endowed with pace, but read that beautifully. Good ruck work there.
Will you tell me whether the Crows player did it or the North Melbourne player? Pittman was in front and flipped it out the back on the forward line. Is that good play?
It's a terrible play, but if in fact he did get his hand to it first.
Back in the centre now, Pittman up against Harris. Jarman, left foot kick by that player towards half forward. Darryl Hart, who looks a little slow, overrunning at Chandler. Nearly a great pick-up, but eventually the follow-up was magnificent by Crocker. Left foot kick back towards the wing, punched away by Maynard. Ramiro, beaten. Now he gets it back to Larkin. Kick in towards half forward, the mark is taken by Marshall. He plays on quickly. Kicks it across his body, back towards centre wing. Darren Harris, Crocker again. No messing around, off the ground, percentage football. Opportunity for Kelly, falls over, but he gets it to Pays. Pays his left foot kick out towards centre wing. Jarman, perhaps not quite hard enough. McGuinness gathers the ball. Handball over the top to McDermott. Goes to Jarman. Jarman now. A long kick in towards the full forward area. No mark taken. Chance for Hart. Gets the hand pass back to Lindner. Lindner round onto the right foot. The goals are unattended. The kick is right on the line. Touched by North Melbourne defender Chandler, I think it was, that got back there quickly. So a behind to Adelaide, they're 5-5. North Melbourne are 11-9.
Crows have added just 1 goal too since half time. Roberts to bring it back into play. We'll head towards Scholl. Trying to go over the top of Jarman.
Let him up, Jarmo! Let him up! Run him up!
Plays on quickly to Ross Smith. Pumps it high to the wing. Pittman did well.
Steady, John! Fire!
Off to Lindsay. To half forward. Lindner, the big flyer from the back. Here's an opportunity for Hart. He's got good goal sense. This time, not quite good enough. Hitting the post. Well, they've showed enormous persistence in their opening 2 games, Bernie.
Yes, tonight they haven't
Just haven't looked the same.
been good enough, have they? They've made a lot of mistakes under pressure. The handball in defence has left a lot to be desired, and some of their moves into the forward line have really lacked purpose.
Scholl gets it off to Romero, a chain of hand passes. See them drift it up just forward of centre wing, Anthony Rock. They'll wait for players to stream down ground, then drift it up towards McCarthy. Can't take the mark. Lindsay there with him, so too Maynard. Almost threw it out the back door. Marshall goes to ground. McCarthy working hard, so too is Marshall. Claimed by Romero. Pittman gives it away to McGuinness. Payes says, where is it? I can't pick it up. Eventually he does. Off to centre wing. Scholl thought about flying from behind. Past Tregenza it goes. Carey does well. The old 1-2 as he flicks it in towards the left forward pocket. Not a good kick, and Payes takes the mark.
Payes looking to get the handball away to Lindsay, but now being forced to kick the ball high. Really not a lot of cohesion. North Melbourne players with short passes and hand passes have been far more efficient than the Crows this evening. Now the ball comes out the back to Tregenza. Tregenza's kick has been touched off the boot as signalled by the umpire. Now, brought down was Filkey, and that really was a free kick, but it'll stop the play.
50 metres against Carey there.
50 metres should bring it up inside the 50-metre area.
Yes,
so Filkey would be a chance to score from here.
Definitely.
50.
Yes, he'll be having a kick from about 40 metres out. Maybe a bit more, 45 maybe.
Like to buy land off him, Robbo, would you?
Well, it was a decent 50. I'd suggest it'd be probably closer to 60-metre advantage for Filkey. He should get the distance. Lovely drop punt kick, and it's a goal to Adelaide. So Grant Filkey kicks his first goal. All goals, the 6 of them for Adelaide, have been kicked by individuals. Hart, McGuinness, Hodges, Klug, Murphy and Filkey.
There again, just no excuse for Carey giving away that 50-metre penalty. Just poor discipline. He's played earlier on at centre-half forward, but since he's been moved to centre-half back, he's played okay, but unforgivable.
6-6, plays 11-9. Back in the middle once again. Pittman beaten. McCarthy gets a tap onto Rock. Kicks down to the right half-forward flank. Romero is going to be beaten by the numbers. He poses the question, and it is immediately answered with throw it in. They'll try anything, won't they?
They're attempted con men, these guys. Well, I suppose if it comes off, why not? They get a free shot, don't they?
Yep.
Carey's been taken from the ground after that 50-metre penalty too, Robbo, so Schimmelbusch quick to act.
Pittman wins it. Payes working hard at the bottom. Larkin, oh, well, he is a real terrier. Staritsky has a shot that's very, very wide. Left forward pocket.
Sandy, one of the things that I think is very evident out of this match is that North Melbourne, the players have kept their footing. They've been able to stand up in tight positions, whereas the Adelaide players have gone to ground a little too easily.
McGuinness shrugs the Romero tackle. Goes wide, looking for Hart. Get a free kick. It was hell when he didn't have it. Certainly hasn't been his night tonight. He's had a couple of good games. Staritsky off to Scholl. Marshall stands his ground. They come over the top. Allison gets the hand pass away. Crocker will keep it in play and gain probably 15 or 20 metres. Romero under pressure. McGuinness may twist into Chandler. In fact, he did. Loses the football. Close to the boundary line is Matthew Kelly. In fact, he is over.
The tackling's been great, hasn't it, tonight, Robbo?
Yes,
Chandler, fantastic there.
Bernie. And it's always been sort of in their forward line where some teams tend to just, you wouldn't say bludge, but they get a bit lazy.
Well, it's probably been a feature of football over the last couple of years, how much harder the forwards work to retain possession in that forward line. And, gee, the backmen certainly appreciate the forwards working so much harder these days.
Well, it stops the ball from coming down with some sort of flow, doesn't it? Larkin's got the free kick. He's kicked 3. is about 40 metres out. Drop punt kick close to the line. It's touched there by the Adelaide defence, and it goes through for a behind. So Matthew Larkin, 15 kicks and 12 hand passes. The captain has led from the front. Kick in by Bartlett. Goes to the 50-metre line. And a free kick to McDermott against Harris. Harris holding his hands in the air. What was that for? I don't even know.
I don't think the umpires have had a great night either. Some very strange decisions.
Great mark taken out here by Hart. He's lifted his work rate a little in the second half. Gathered by Filkey. Under pressure. Kicks it across his body. And a mark is taken by Roberts. Oh, it nearly slipped out. The umpire suggesting there that he did have control of the football. So Roberts kicks it back for North Melbourne. Wide to the wing. The mark is taken by Clarkson. Clarkson, who had a tremendous impact on the game in the first half when North Melbourne set up their handy lead. There's a player just come off the interchange bench, German, and he nearly got a kick straight away. He got a hand pass, but really was ineffective. Boundary throw in right on the players' interchange area, and Chandler limping off. What a great game he's played in defence for North Melbourne.
Throw in on the wing. Harris couldn't take it, rocks away, but the whistle had sounded.
Yes, Chandler hurt himself in that tackle on McGuinness earlier. He came up limping after that.
Well, under 12.5 minutes remaining now. Schwass with the left foot. Marshall drops it. Stolen by Smith. Jose, is he away? Yes, he is. Stabs it in towards full forward. The diving mark not taken. Oh, clever play. McCarthy, Longmire and Allison. He goes.
40-point lead now to North Melbourne. Doing it well in this final term. They have not let up all night. Jose a little bit lucky there. Just got the fortunate bounce. Not a great kick. Went for Longmire. A bit of a scoop off the ground there from Johnny Longmire. There's been a few of those tonight that the umpires have let go. Could have been a throw even, Robbo.
So North Melbourne charging ahead towards a place in the final of the Foster's Cup for 1991. They'll play Hawthorn next Saturday night. Adelaide not giving up though. Filkey kicks it towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Peter German back there. Murphy gets the ball wide. Oh, Rowe. No left hand. Ball finishes now with McGuinness on the 50-metre line. Tony McGuinness goes for goal. Punched away from Lindner there by Brayshaw. And it's through for a behind to the Adelaide side. Adelaide 6-7, North Melbourne 12-10. And Jeff Chandler down there on the interchange bench. Michael Roberts has a report.
Yes, Jeff came off. He grabbed his groin. They've taken him straight up the race. It is a groin, and he will take no further part in the match.
Thank you, Michael. That ball goes out of bounds. Scholl kicking it once it had gone over.
He's an improved player. Craig Scholl played a lot of his junior football at North Melbourne as well and come up through the ranks and has improved each year over about the last three.
And Ian, with their harassing, could they keep Hawthorn to a relatively low score?
Bernie, don't you? I mean, their negating tactics have been perfect. The discipline's been great.
Very good on-ball players and across the centre, which is the only way that you're going to counter Hawthorn.
Jarman to Lindner, couldn't take it. Towards the line once again and over.
I don't know whether they can stop Hawthorn from kicking a winning score, but I would suggest that it would be a very, very good contest next Saturday night. If these guys playing for North Melbourne can commit themselves the same as they have tonight, it'll be a great contest.
And they'll probably have a couple more to come back in to this lineup, if they can get back in, because they've been very spirited tonight. John Longmire leaving the ground. Gallagher back on. Longmire finishing with 3 goals. 1 in the second and 2 in the third quarter. Tregenza under pressure. Scholl over the top of him. Schwass at the bottom of the pack. Gallagher. Big man still working hard. Lindsay trying to farm out to Tregenza. McDermott sweeps it wide to Jarman. They're just continually being pressurised. And another example there as that kick lands with Jose Romero. He's at half back. Drifted towards McCarthy. Pittman will come over the top. Can't complete the mark. Crocker gives it wide to Gallagher. The big man quickly gets it off, but he puts Sturitsky under pressure. Hart applying the tackle there. He'll get another chance, Gallagher. A good hand pass. Danger here as Stevens sets sail for the forward pocket. No one at home for the Crows. McCarthy will have a shot in the left forward pocket.
McCarthy, this will do him the world of good, this outing, Bernie. I'd say that he hasn't played much football.
No, he looks
in the pre-season.
He looks as if he may have a little bit of weight to lose before the start of the season. But he did have that knee operation, so he's probably lost a little bit of the pre-season training. He should be okay with a few runs under the belt, though.
Kick by McCarthy, misses to the left. And he's got those protection pads around the thighs, which well, they're fairly common now. Oh, gee whiz, can the Adelaide Crows do anything more wrong? Kelly runs over the line, and there's umpire Shane McDonald indicating to the player just how far he went over the line. He wasn't even close, according to those indications. And Kelly looking a little disgusted with himself. Umpire will bounce right on that, the end of the square. Pittman, Gallagher. Gallagher flips it out the back. The race is on now. Marshall tries to kick it off the ground. Sturitsky, who seems to be under the pack on numerous occasions. Now the hand pass coming out there from Pays to McDermott. The kick goes towards Klug. Back in towards the centre, Hart. Flips the hand pass to Maynard. He goes to Filkey. Filkey, who's battled hard all night. Kick wide. Giving the opportunity to Hodges to run at the football. He flips it to the back. Not waiting for it there was Rowe. Goes after it again, but good work there by Roberts. Mann, and eventually finishing with Larkin. Larkin, who's always accurate with the hand passing. This one's no exception. Crocker, and his short pass finds Allison.
Brett Allison has 2 goals. Kicks up towards the 50-metre line. Pays. Can't control it. Sturitsky couldn't either. Filkey could have been legged. He tried. Hence a bounce. Gallagher into the centre. Marshall pumps it back towards the middle. Klug doesn't get a favourable bounce. German's kick only gathers a few metres. McDermott, but only as far as Brayshaw.
Yes, they've fallen down the 2 key forwards tonight. Klug hasn't had a great night, and Hodge is off the ground. And Lindner really hasn't done a lot on the forward line either.
Clarkson's kick up towards half forward once again. Sturitsky thought about going on with it. There was Allison there as well. They could have just about raffled it. But he goes back now. Kicks in towards Harris. Couldn't take it. McCarthy over the top to the rock. Clever kick. Goal. Fair to say with that piece of play, stoned the Crows.
Yeah, that's it, Sandy, if it wasn't all over before, but Anthony Rock has been as solid as a rock all night. The Rovers have been fantastic. Ramiro, McCarthy on that forward line, and a very clever kick there from Rock. Kept it low because he knew the smother would have been applied had he tried to kick it hard and high.
"17 kicks and 4 hand passes to Anthony Rock, his first goal. North Melbourne's 13th. Gallagher beaten for it. Rock still working hard at the centre bounce. Mark taken by Smith. Oh, the hand pass to Larkin was probably a little bit lairish. And North Melbourne pay the penalty. No, they don't. They get the free kick because the Adelaide player didn't move the ball on. Larkin gets another possession. Short pass to Schwass. Over the top. Opportunity for Pickering. Handball. Rock will get it again. Look at that strong stuff by Rock. And you can't play on this occasion. Now umpire Shane McDonald indicating that the free kick will go back to Rock and McGuinness, the infringing player for Adelaide. He's a tough little customer, this guy, isn't he?
My word, he is.
Living up to that surname. One goal. 19th kick coming up. So North Melbourne taking all before them. The kick by Rock into the full forward line. Back there is Pays. Harris there forcing the ball over for North Melbourne. Boundary throw in right forward pocket. And Graham Corns and Neil Curley will go home with a lot of thinking to do leading up to the first match. Staritsky. Left foot snap is a behind.
He looks all right, Staritsky. Played well against Melbourne. Took a sensational mark out here on the members' wing. And works very hard.
25 effective scoring shots to 13. Really does tell the story on the scoreboard. 43 to 90. No mark taken. Larkin out to Schwass. Just a clever little tap forward because he knew he couldn't get through. And over the line. Pittman and Gallagher. The latter trying to flick it round the corner. Filkey. Also trying to push it on. Now to McGuinness. Tony McGuinness goes into the centre. Good mark taken by Klug. Quick to play on. Hart going back with the ball. Brayshaw sneaking away from Lindner, who come out. Now German. And very easily North Melbourne bring it away. No pressure at all on Ross Smith as he goes wide to the wing and he finds Allison. Well, they're just controlling it now. Crocker, forward of centre. Stabs it in. Look at that pass. A beauty. And Darren Harris will have a shot inside 50.
The sting gone out of the Crows now. Really, North Melbourne able to do as they like. They're just playing possession football, moving it out of defence without the Crows touching it once on its way up onto that forward line. And Darren Harris now having the shot from about 45 metres out.
Harris looking for his first goal. Oof, what a kick. He's got one behind.
He does kick the ball enormous distances, Harris.
There's the brains trust of North Melbourne. Maynard bringing it back into play. Pittman's his target. Tregenza at the back, gets it away. Pushing it down towards Filkey now. Scoops it out. Hodges has not had a happy time, but he did not have the ball on that occasion.
Amazing, Sandy. A week's a long time in football, isn't it?
Certainly.
Well-used cliche. They didn't have many problems last Saturday night, the Crows. But 7 days later, heaps of them by the look of it.
Pickering short to Rock. He spins through half forward again. They've got the numbers here. There's two of them. Can Carey recover? He can. Flicks it round his body. And there's another one with a ruse. Carey's first.
He's doing as I like now, North Melbourne. Wayne Carey spent some time on the bench. Also had a spell at centre-half back. He could have got the hand pass away there. Anthony Rock long into the forward line. Not a lot of talk from the North Melbourne players. Albertson, you just saw running past there. He could have got the handball over to him, so lucky he kicked that goal. Wayne Carey coming into the play now when all the pressure's gone out of the game.
24 possessions for Rock. He's done well.
3.5 minutes left. North lead. McDermott runs out of the centre. Kick by McDermott towards full forward. Lindner leaps high, but he can't mark. Getting back quickly is Robertson. He's going to concede a behind. Kicking it through for the Adelaide side. 6-8. Well, from memory, their scores. Well, the score against Geelong was a high score, but last week they didn't kick all that many goals, and they really have struggled tonight. So they'd probably have to look at their, as Bernie has already said, their key forwards. Here's Hart. Left foot shot by Hart is close. It's helped through by Mark Roberts, and another rush behind to Adelaide.
Yeah, not only the forwards, though, Ian, it's how they get the ball out of the middle of the ground. And it's been North Melbourne who have applied all the pressure. They've made it very tough for for the Crows to get the ball down into that forward line cleanly.
Well, to North Melbourne's credit, they're trying to get their Operation Kangaroo for 91 flowing nicely, and these 3 wins and a performance next week against Hawthorn will be a great fillip for them. So their young players have certainly done well for the administration. Marshall back at half-back, somehow gets around, forced to kick with the left foot, close to the boundary line, high over the top, and Clarkson takes a spectacular mark for North Melbourne. Craig German holding his shoulder, didn't quite see what happened there. Peter German, rather. Craig German is his brother. He's a newsagent in Pascoe Vale. He'd be quite happy with that little announcement, I'd suggest. And I'll be around Craig for the free Tats Lotto tickets next week. But anyway, the Crows up towards full forward for North. Through comes Larkin. Unselfishly again, McCarthy into an open goal, and he pumps it into the man on the mark. Allison finishes it off with a kick off the ground for another North Melbourne goal. Brett Allison has kicked 4, Longmire 3, Matthew Larkin 3, North Melbourne 15-13, Adelaide 6-9.
Well, the Crows not too happy about this. They've gone up to the goal umpire and remonstrated. I think they're saying this was touched. There's the kick. And the player there, Robbie Thompson, saying it was touched, but the umpire, no difference to him. All clear.
You don't often see those decisions altered, Bernie?
I've never seen one, Robbo.
45 to 103. Man. Throws it out. Jarman's off.
I don't know whether he's fit enough, is he, Jarman, Sandy? He looks a little bit heavy around the...
It's been tested a little bit tonight, hasn't it?
Around the rear section.
You're a very kind man. Too high, it'll come back and if Crow's free kick will be taken by Filkey. From the middle to the 50-metre line, looking for Clue. One out battle, couldn't take it. May get another chance at the back. Schwass overruns it, but he goes back again, Wayne Schwass. Then Soccer's off the ground. He's pretty quick, he can keep going here. He does, out in front of Larkin. He may be content to see the boundary line because Marshall's with him. Marshall needs help. Tregenza comes in. Schwass has got him. Ball breaks free. Hart is there also. Lindsay scouting the pack. Eventually Schwass gets it out. Short kick by Larkin. He tried to get rid of it. Romero is free. Goes back to Wayne Schwass hugging the boundary line. He spent it before he got it. And a throw.
Bernie, how difficult would you think it is for players to come off the interchange bench and get straight into it? Like the players that have perhaps played a quarter or 2 quarters, warmed up?
Yeah, well, probably so many changes are made with the interchange these days. Players just have to be prepared when they come on. You see the players running around the boundary line, keeping warm, stretching up all the time. So really they should be, when they come on, they should be really primed and ready to go.
Now Adelaide Crows through Rowe, kick the ball across the 50-metre line. Lindner, what can he do? He's well chased there by Brayshaw, but he slips the tackle. Kicks it in towards the forward pocket. There's the siren. North Melbourne win, and they win authoritatively. North Melbourne 15-13, 103. They're 58-point victors over the Adelaide Crows, who kicked 6-9, 45. The leading goal scorer for North Melbourne was Brett Allison with 4. Longmire kicked 3, and Larkin kicked 3. And for the Adelaide Crows, they were all single goal scorers.
Here's Darryl Hart, Tony McGuinness, Scott Hodges, John Klug, Michael Murphy and Grant Filkey all scored singles. So Hawthorn will now play North Melbourne in the Foster's Final Cup. The Crows will head back to Adelaide and prepare for the first of their home and away matches for the 1991 season, where incidentally they will meet Hawthorn at Football Park. So the final score in this second semi-final, North Melbourne comprehensive victors 15-13, 103, Adelaide 6-9, 45.
This
final scoreline in the second semi-final of the Foster's Cup, North Melbourne 15-13, 103, running out easy victors in the end over the Adelaide Crows 6-9, 45. So our final look at the tree, and this is how we have arrived at the two finalists. North Melbourne, of course, the finalists last year against Essendon. Hawthorn, a disappointing year last year, but certainly looking to bounce back. So I would imagine the North Melbourne camp is all very happy. They're concentrating heavily on a recruiting drive as far as membership is concerned, and one man certainly well behind that is Bob Ansett. He's with Michael Roberts now.
Well, thanks, Sandy. And I do have Bob Ansett down here. The players are behind closed doors, but Bob, into a grand final, tremendous for the club.
It's terrific. The second year in a row we've made the grand final of the Foster's Cup. I hope this year that we'll be able to do better in that grand final than we did last year.
Now, you have a big membership drive at the moment. How's that going?
Well, that's one of the interesting things about this Foster Cup series and why it's so important for the teams these days, because now we have another opportunity next week to again push hard our membership drive. But we're ahead on every membership category over last year, so we're delighted with how it's gone. And as I said, next week against Hawthorn, we'll have our marquee out in the outer wing, and we'll have all the hullabaloo and the bands and everything, and we'll be pushing hard with membership sales.
On tonight's game, I thought the difference was the little men. Against Melbourne, Shimmer was a bit critical, especially before half-time, but they really paved the way tonight.
Yeah, so I think our little players got back in it in the second half last week, but tonight they were first to the ball, and I think they gave us the pace around the pack. We got the ball out of the centre very well tonight, much better than we did last week. So we're continuing to improve. I think we've still got another 30% improvement capability as yet.
Well, it's great to see North Melbourne in the finals, and we hope you do very, very well against Hawthorn next week. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Michael.
Bob Ansett speaking there with Michael Roberts. Well, let's talk about the game, gentlemen. Firstly, Bernie, Graham Corns and Neil Curley will go home tonight with the mind of improving what in their game? Where do you think they fell down tonight?
Everywhere, Sandy. Overall, I thought their performance was right down. They've been impressive the last couple of weeks. St Kilda, they were good. They fought their way back into it. They persisted. I thought they lost the ball around their packs. Matty Larkin was enormous for North Melbourne. They just didn't have the players, the backup support that they had the week before against St Kilda. I thought Romero, Rock, Larkin, all their on-ball players did particularly well, and that's where they lost it, I think, Sandy. They just lost it in that area, and that made it so much more tough for the forwards. The ball was brought down slowly into the Crows' forward line. Their back line also made a lot of mistakes under pressure. Their handball at times was very suspect. Their defensive capabilities left a lot to be desired. Instead of going for the safety on a number of occasions, they went for the wrong option. They brought the ball back into the play, and this also allowed North Melbourne a couple of easy goals.
I think the biggest problem that they've got, Bernie, is that whenever the opposition control the ball, you always look slow, and that certainly was evident tonight. They looked, players like Marshall, Jarman, McDermott, Lindsay, all of those players that have been reasonably good for them in the first 2 weeks looked slow. The statistics are one-sided.
Yes, the other thing about it tonight too, Robbo, was North Melbourne were able to bottle up play so much because they had all their little players. They backed up, they supported, they all ran to the pack, to the fall of the ball, and on so many occasions the Crows just could not get a clear kick into the forward line.
Let's have a look at some of the individual stats now, gentlemen, and firstly, Bernie, Matthew Larkin.
Yes, he was fantastic tonight, Matty Larkin. 17 kicks, 15 handballs, and he topped it off with 3 goals.
For the Crows, Tony McGuinness.
And I think McGuinness's experience at Footscray has stood him in good stead. He certainly knows what it's all about at this pressure level. I'm not saying talent-wise, but certainly pressure is different in this competition.
Anthony Rock was a busy little rover for North Melbourne.
Especially that second half and the final quarter too, finished off with 7 kicks, 20 for the match and 1 goal.
And Ian, you were just talking about Andrew Jarman.
Well, he does get the use of the football, but certainly a lot of those possessions were ineffective because of the pressure applied by his opponents in the North Melbourne Guernseys.
Alistair Clarkson, also of North, another busy player.
Playing in the centre tonight, Sandy. 13 kicks, 8 handballs, 7 marks and 5 free kicks. Worked very hard.
And a good worker for Adelaide was Grant Filkey.
I agree there, Sandy. I think that he can hold his head fairly high because his performance was quite good.
All right, gentlemen, and so we've got a grand final on our hands. North Melbourne were here last year against Essendon and disappointing in losing. Hawthorn, a disappointing year overall, really, for the club last year. What do you think? Hawthorn are 5-1
well, you're the top tipster now. Do I owe you $5?
You do.
Just reminded me since the football finished.
Well, I'm going for Hawthorn, Sandy. I think their performance was magnificent on Wednesday night against Essendon, and anyone who tipped against them would be very brave.
Yeah. I give them some chance, North. I think if they can work hard, their discipline was tremendous tonight, and if it can be the same commitment, they've got some chance next week.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for that. So a reminder for our viewers at home, the final is on next Saturday night. You can catch it on 7. Check your local guides for the times. It gets underway here at Waverley at 8:30. So the big Foster's Cup Grand Final coming your way next Saturday. I hope that you can join us then.
This has been a 7 Sport production.